Okay, thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Rishi and I head the automotive business for Qliktech India. And it's my privilege to be speaking in front of you, a large crowd. Of course, we'll be talking about a lot of things today. In fact, of course, I'll not talk about the importance of data in everybody's life. To keep just automotive aside for a while, I think the moment you sleep and the moment you wake up and till day and night, there is a data which is being produced. Like the smartwatch you see, it is also generating the data. And consciously and unconsciously, you're taking decision in your life. For example, if I need to book a car for myself to rent, I would compare my prices with Uber and Ola and compare the ETAs when the driver is going to reach early, right? So that's a unconscious decision which I'm taking on the data which is available. But when it comes to the automotives, of course, the data is humongous. Humongous in terms of, in the morning we talked about the batteries and the other scalable models that we have is producing a lot of data. And the automotive industry, if they are not investing in the technology that can help them take decisions on those data set, bring that information and take actions on it, I think those are the organizations which of course would lag. But I'm seeing in the overall experience which I have with the automotives, I'm seeing the kind of vision these organizations, automotives would have is much higher than ever, right? It's a time when people are investing in the technology that can really help them create a data platform for their organization. Of course, I'll do a quick round of introduction about the organization Qliktech, what we do, how we do, and what are things that makes us very different from the market as compared to the other competitors. I'll also talk about the mega trends that we have in terms of the data and the automotive industry, and that includes the auto ancillaries also, by the way. I'll also show you a quick demo, not more than 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Of course, I've noted down. That's a quick one, just to give you a flavor of what our technology can really help you with as a business user or a technology stack player in the market. And last but not the least, I'll talk about the takeaways that whenever you are taking a decision on a data platform in your organization, why you should think about Qliktech having a partner of a choice for the data platform, right? So quickly, about Qliktech, if you see that, of course, we are 30 years old organization. Our bread and butter is only data. We breathe and do everything with data only. And we are across the globe with more than 40,000 customers globally. You take the name of any of the industry across the globe, top player of it would be our customer. And you can just keep on guessing. Talking about the overall stack, if you see on the bottom left-hand side, there are a lot of things that we do with respect to the data integration. When it comes to data integration, it is more from replicating the data in real time. For example, the IoT devices throwing the battery information to analyze the information. That becomes a real-time information. Coming to the ETL processes of automating it, like ETL automations for the data warehouse or the data lake that you are building in your organization, that is also a part of the data integration. It is also a part of the overall stack that the data quality is also important, the data management perspective. So that is also something that we do. From the analytics perspective, of course, dashboarding is something that we have been doing for the last 30 years. But more than that, there are multiple use cases which comes across as in terms of the analytics landscape. That is also a key to all the data use cases that you follow. Last but not the least is the auto ML and the AI ML and the cognitive engine that we have within the platform landscape. That really helps a business user to consume the forecasting and the so-called data scientist jargons and removing all those complexity apart, how we can really help the business users to take decision wisely and predict the future as well. Of course, I can talk about myself and Qliktech a lot, but of course, just a proof point, you take the name of any of the analysts in the world covering the topic of data, we are the leaders in it. And I can proudly tell you that we are the only vendor in the analytics space who has been like 13 consecutive years in the leaders quadrant. The proof point is the names that you see, of course, the space is less, so I've just kept few logos. Of course, Vinodji has left the event, but Volvo is also one of our partner, and we are working very closely with them, and they have got a benefit of reducing the defects in their trucks by 90% leveraging our technology. So that means a lot. And of course, as a part of the organization, the CSR activities, we really believe that giving it to the society back is also very important. So we have more than 500 charities that we work with, and that's a crucial part of our business as well. Okay, now coming to the automotive business, the mega trends. So what I'll do is, of course, I've taken just 3 mega trends that are there, and I'll talk about that how we have also helped some of the organizations in the automotive space for these mega trends achievements. One is, of course, the digitizing of the supply chain. And when it comes to supply chain, it's not just about deciding on which product I need to launch. It is also about what components would be required to create that product, right? How I will negotiate with the various vendors, be it from the multiple geographies and so on. Finally, I'll create a experience center, put my products, do a selling of it, and finally the customer satisfaction, right? That's the most important thing. So how we have really helped in the supply chain is, think of a scenario. The whole spectrum of supply chain, any of the component goes down, you are done for the day, right? So what we do with the automotive industry is a concept called de-risking. Anybody aware of de-risking concept? Any hands? No? Okay. So I'll tell you what de-risking is. For example, if I need to produce a car which has 100 components, so what I'll do is, of course, I have multiple vendors across the geographies, and I'll be taking one component from multiple geographies as well. If something goes down or something goes wrong within a forbidden cases like, let's say, Ukraine, for example, if I'm buying some product from there, what is a mechanism that I can really rely on the data so that I can quickly move my procurement from Ukraine to some other region from where I can procure the products as fast, so that my production does not suffer and my customer ultimately don't suffer, right? So that is something that we have done with one of the biggest automotives in India, the de-risking project. That is one of the critical aspect, and I think being the auto ancillaries or the automotives, I think it becomes very critical for you to ensure that your business is risk-free. The second aspect is the ACEs, and of course everybody would know what ACEs is. It's all about connected, autonomous, and the electrification of the the vehicles that we see, and finally the shared services like the aggregators of like some of the world called Uber or Ola, something of that sort. So what we do is we have connected with and we have partners and customers in both the EV space where we help them analyze the data coming from their batteries to see that how we can leverage the various aspects, for example, the cycles of the batteries, how we can improve it. The charging time that it consumes, it has to be lesser because the patience is least in the human body. So all these things, analyzing those humongous data points that we have done with the EV industry, and one of the biggest scooter maker in India for EV, we are the partners in that use case. Last but not the least is the customer journey. And let me ask a question first, and I would like people to raise hand if possible. How many of you own a car and got a call from the agent or a dealer that, sir, service karani hai gaadi ki, even if in the morning you have got your car into the service area? Any hands? Do you get that random calls? Frustrating? Yes, of course. This is very frustrating. I'm an owner of 2 cars. One gentleman asked me. So this is a challenge which everybody has because they don't have the access to the real-time information. And what we have done with this, one of the customers in India who is managing 7,000 users in the dealer management ecosystem, who is selling a lot of lakhs of cars every month. And what we have done for them is have created a data pipeline in a real time. The data is ingested from multiple sources into their CRM. And whenever that agent, a girl or a boy, starts or dials my number, he or she gets to know that Rishi owns a car, let's say X, and in the morning, 7 a.m. or 9 a.m., he has got the job card open. So the next question probably to ask Rishi would be that how was your experience with the giving your vehicle to the service center, right? So that really makes sense because it helps you improvise the customer experience. And see, I as a customer would not mind having a call with a agent, having a sense talk, right? So this is one of the critical use cases that we have delivered for the various automotive industry, and these are the mega trends that we see particularly in the automotive that are crucial when it comes to the data. So what I'm going to do now is, of course, I believe in seeing. So a quick demo of 2 minutes wherein I'll show you couple of things. What we have done is we have embedded one of the dashboards into the application. What it does is it's a plant operation use case wherein a plant operation manager wants to really look at the kind of scraps that it is creating, what are the defects which is there, which machines in the assembly lines are creating a challenge or may go down so that I can take a predictive actions on it or even take more insights on it, right? So that's about it. So I'll just voice over this. It's not working. Yeah. Okay. So, of course, the first thing that you really experience when you come to the Qlik platform is you don't have to worry about the hierarchies that you need to follow. You can select on any of the selections that you see. You just ask the question, it will answer you immediately. The other aspect of the thing is the alerting, because every time you don't have a time to get into the dashboard, right? So what you really want to do is set up an alert for yourself that whenever you are needed to view the data or view the dashboard, then only you should come to see the dashboard. For example, the alerts that you see, it is automatically triggered on your mobile device or your platform so that you can take appropriate action. One of the other aspect is the chat, the natural language conversation, which you can do immediately. You ask the question in a natural language, you get the insights about the data in the form of charts or the text, whatever you are comfortable with, and it will give you the answers to the queries that you have asked for. Last but not the least, the most critical one is, of course, everybody knows what business they are doing, but everybody is not very sure how the business would go, right? The forecasting part. So what we have done is, the AutoML of Qlik really helps you to take decisions wisely on the predictive maintenance. As you can see the assembly line, and this is how it works. So you can immediately hover it, real-time information is flowing so that you know that, how the machine is performing, whether the quantity, quality, and the availability is there. And you can even do the simulations, right? Because that is the critical aspect of the predictive analytics that you do. So once you do that, you get all the information within the platform itself in real time to analyze those information and take decision on top of it. So, and last, I'll talk about the other use case, which is like, it can be a very complex use cases. For example, finding an anomaly in the machines, right? It is very difficult for a human to just do this analysis. But within the product, we have a lot of complex analytics that you can do. For example, the anomalies that you're seeing, you can define and see the anomalies within the platform. So that was a quick demo about the product. Of course, I'll be there, my team is there on the booth. You can, free to speak to me or my team members to have a one-to-one session, or even if you want to see the full-fledged demo. Coming to the takeaways, I think this is the important slide because after hearing me 12, 13 minutes, I think it is very important because whenever you are taking a decision in your organization as the owner of the organization, that you need to define a strategy on the data platform because you cannot change the data platform every day, right? It has to be a wise decision of yours to take. And why Qlik is important? Because we have a comprehensive stack of product which are seamlessly integrated in terms of the data integration, data analytics, and the predictive part, which is the AutoML. And we do not bind you as a customer to the underlying data store. So we give you a leverage to store your data anywhere you want. If you want GCP, you want Azure, you want AWS, you are free to do it. But what we are providing you is a platform on top of it, which can give you more insights, availability, and you can take decision on top of it. The second aspect of the thing is, the agility. See, as I told you that the patience is the least in the human bodies, right? And nobody has a patience. If I am a business user, I might ask my, my colleagues or my subordinates that, give me this data, I need to analyze it. And if you take time in delivering that information to your managers or your to leaders or to your colleagues, it doesn't make sense, right? So the product has to be agile enough to take the use cases that you need at the time that you need. That is the most important thing. Last but not the least is the governance piece. And when I talk about governance, it is not just about providing the right data to the right person at the right time. It is more from the management perspective of the data, because as I said, the data is humongous and you need to manage it in such a way that it helps you analyze those information whenever you want to do and appropriately take action on it. So that's it about the takeaways from this. And I would really appreciate to meet you again in my booth. Of course, I'll be waiting for you all to discuss on the multiple other use cases that we have done. And of course, to see that the various challenges that you are facing in your industry or in your organization, so that we can help you solve the data platform concerns. Thank you so much.